Darius Slay. You know, the Slaymaker, the playmaker, chit-chat about his free agency where he almost ended up as Baltimore Raven. Wait until you hear the name that pops into this one. Kept Darius Slay a Philadelphia Eagle.
I love Dahn, man. I appreciate the shout out, Dahn. Dahn, the reason I came back to
What?
Philly.
Hey, let's go.
Oh, yeah, that's something I want to talk
Big
about.
Dahn.
So last year, walk me through that whole process. Like, what was going on? Like, you were off the
Look
team.
at that, John.
Hours later, you're back. You're
It's
extended.
always about just a little. It's about how they wanted to do the cap thing. You know what I'm saying? Just using leverage. Everybody does it. They use leverage against us. They use age against us to leverage us. So why I use the cap number against them? You know what I'm saying? To get the money I want, they use the age, the money they want to offer me. So it's always just be tick and tack. That's just how the business be. But at the end of the day, for sure, I almost was a Baltimore Raven though. I really committed to the Ravens and was finna go. Then Dom called me and said, "Slay, I want you here." Da da da. And I'm like, you know what, Dom? If you calling me, Dom, I'm coming back. You know what I'm saying? I love Dom.
All right. He said, "I'm going to give you an offer you cannot refuse."
Dog, that's my dog, man. I love Dog, man. He look out for me and my family, man. Make sure everybody good. So I gotta always show him.
How about everybody in the Philadelphia Eagles organization being like, love Dom?
Everybody.
What does he do? Everything. What do you mean he does he does everything. They just changed his title. I think he's like now assistant GM, senior advisory to the GM. He's advising the general manager.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, that's what Big Dom is doing. I'm also chief security officer, so nobody's getting in, nobody's getting out. I'll tell the GM my thoughts, certainly. Head game day coaching operations, so they have to keep me on the sideline. It's now a title. Look at the badge. Look at the badge. And he's also just boss, capo. They should maybe call him whatever, Godfather, Dom. Whatever the case, Paisan, you've done really well. Seemingly, everybody that you work with loves you and respects you, except for the NFL, who banished you from the sideline, which I still think, especially with the more stories that I hear, that's a massive ordeal for that collapse of the Philadelphia Eagles last season.
Yeah.
Once Big Paisano Dom gets his ass with those sweet glasses and that great hat back on the sideline, I think we see the Philadelphia Eagles from the beginning of the season and the year before, as opposed to what we saw at the end of that thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a yin and yang. Sirianni was a different guy when Dom wasn't on the sideline. And it kind of just, permeated through the entire roster. And for Howie Roseman to be like, no. This guy's going to
advise me.
This guy's going to advise me. Okay. Not only that, he's going to be on the sideline every game. We're going to make sure he doesn't get tossed out of another game. And obviously, the boss. Just giving him the boss title. That's just the cherry on top.
They gave him a pinky ring while they did it, obviously, and that was well earned, well deserved. Go ahead, Tony.
They lost the game, obviously. That happened, and then they were 1-5 after that.
Bingo. Right. And we were talking about it. Everybody's mocking us.
Yeah.
These journalists were mocking us. It's like, hey, when you got a vibes guy, and you need a vibes guy, you lose vibes guy, vibes might not be good.
Right.
That is certainly a possibility. And just like, because we're in the NHL finals and everything, so we'll make the reference. Like when Wayne Gretzky, the great one, was playing, there was always a goon walking around, to protect him.
Yep.
Sirianni's goon. And I mean this as a compliment. I think we're going to take this.
Right.
Jesus. Goon's a good thing.
Yeah.
Need one down here.
ASAP. When the goon leaves, all of a sudden you're a little different animal. Sirianni's not thinking as clearly. He's not chewing on the kibbles and bits.
Looking over his shoulder.
No.
There's a little bit of a different animal. So now that Big Dom advising the GM, you're welcome, Howie. And he's also coaching security on the side, you're welcome, Sirianni. Everything's back together again in the city of brotherly love. Congrats to the Eagles finding it.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, every city should have their own Big Dom. Like Big Dom kind of represents Philly very well. Like Indiana, to D-Buz's point, what if Indianapolis, the Colts, just had the biggest, dumbest, fattest hick on the sideline, just basically being their Big Dom. How cool would that be?
Big Dom, huh?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You can call him that.
Hey, where's Big Dom at?
In New England, I want the oldest son of a bitch from South Boston or Charlestown.
Just old Irish guy.
Just there,
Cigarette.
drinking pops, smoking cigs with a nice little Kangol hat on.
Yeah, Big Dom, I think he's potentially calling out what offenses are about to run.
For sure.
Agreed.
I think he's cerebral football mind.
Probably earned that advisory role when he got kicked off the sideline. He was up there, and Howie was like, hey.
Shit, this guy's got ideas.
Yeah, wow.
Has this always been how long you been? Everybody's been stealing your ideas and telling me. Congrats to Dom. You done did it, pal.